Hey everybody, what's going on? So today I want to talk about how my experience has been being 1 year on testosterone now and how that sort of shaped and influenced all different aspects of my life. So starting, I just want to say that being on testosterone has definitely granted me a large sense of clarity and freedom that I've been aching for since I was really young. You know, not only has it enabled me to gain freedom from my own body, but it's also granted me the ability to connect with people around me from a more intimate and genuine place. Lots of the relationships I had, including the one with myself prior to starting T, were very hostile. And I think this was because I knew deep within that none of these people knew who I really was. You know, they all had these perceptions and ideas of the person they thought I was. And these notions caused me a lot of trouble since I was subconsciously and consciously trying to fill these molds in order to appease those perceptions. And that is precisely what I did for a really long time. I sacrificed who I was for the comfort of others. I obviously, like most trans people, you come to a point where you must make a decision. It's like you keep living this miserable and hiding life, or you decide to embark in this really scary journey and embrace it, and even if that means leaving people behind, such as your friends and family. So just like I did in my last video, I'm going to be breaking down the changes into different categories, such as socially, mentally, emotionally, and physically. So I'm going to start with the socially aspects because I feel like that's something I sort of overlooked and didn't really think about when I was starting testosterone. And obviously, how could I really know what it would be like unless someone told me? So the first thing is, I found a lot of guys compare themselves to me physically, such as like their facial hair lately, or like my muscles. They'll be like, oh man, you have like more hair than me, or like blah blah blah. And that's really interesting to me because I've never experienced that before. Like no guy has ever like compared themselves to me, and to hear like some of my friends be like, oh shit, like you have so much facial hair and all this, it's really weird. It's definitely a new experience for me. Another unfortunate thing is misogyny. Guys talk about women in really degrading terms to me. Maybe like they just this particularly happens like when people don't know I'm trans, like guys don't know I'm trans, and so they just see me as one of the other guys, and sort of guys are really disgusting and degrading towards women. So nothing new there, but it just sucks having to hear it all the time. It must suck fucking having to experience it all the time as well. Another thing is women see me as a threat, not in like a weird, I give a weird vibe way, more like I have to be conscious that if I'm like getting off a bus late at night and so is another chick, she might perceive me as a threat because she does not know me, she does not know who I am, whatever, she just sees a male and automatically, you know, she has her guard up. Also, the idea and the actual reality of not being misgendered is awesome. I was getting misgendered up to like 7-8 months on testosterone. Now I really don't ever get misgendered unless like one of my old friends slips up on my pronouns or something like that. But besides that, I don't get misgendered, and it's really interesting and it's so nice. Like it's so nice. It's really validating when someone uses your actual name and your correct pronouns. It feels so good. And I have another thing, it's on being stealth. You know, it's sort of really interesting to me when I interact with a person for the first time ever. And I wonder, you know, would you act this way, and would you treat me the same if you knew I was trans? And I feel that a lot lately, like in terms when trans people come up in conversations and stuff. Like if someone says something transphobic, they don't know I'm trans, like it reveals your true colors. And I've been having to deal with that and, you know, learn how to navigate that. So that's all for socially. Now I'm gonna move on to mental changes, things that I've experienced. First and foremost, I feel like I have so much more time and energy because I don't have to focus on my transition, and I don't have to worry about it as much. Prior to T, always thinking about it, wishing I could do it, just constant agony of not being able to properly express myself. I think I've definitely become stronger mentally as well. I'm constantly reinforcing the idea that my voice deserves to be heard just like anyone else's. I can take up space. I respect myself to assert my identity and ask for the respect of others. also, when nothing seems to go right, I have a stronger mindset, to keep pushing forward and force myself to look at the positive. I have, in a sense, sort of rewired my neural pathways to not fall in the same pity cycle they once did. So emotionally, I think a lot of baggage has been removed from my mind and my heart. I have a growing relationship with myself. I am kind to myself. I no longer think that anything is impossible, and I work with the universe in order to manifest the outcomes I want. I'm stable. I can look at a situation, stand back, and not act upon my emotions. Also, not so positive. I tend to cling to emotionally toxic relationships where people usually take from me, use me as sort of like a punching bag for their needs instead of being a equal balance, sort of where I can express my thoughts, blah blah blah. So there's a lot of improvement to work on, but I've definitely come a long way. As far as my physical changes, definitely more broader shoulders, more muscular in my voice. I have facial hair. I'm hairy everywhere. But besides the standard, really not that crazy. My hairline sort of changed a little bit. For now, this is all I wanted to say and share with you. If you have similar experiences or you would like to know anything, feel free to leave a comment below. Thank you for watching. I hope this was somewhat insightful and helped you, and catch you in my next video. Goodbye.